Return the 50,000 or don't come back, my father shouted, pointing straight at me. His voice shook the walls, the anger in his eyes like fire burning through me. My sister stood next to him, her arms folded, smugness painted across her face. You took Mom's money, she spat accusingly, like I was a criminal in my own house. I froze, disbelief crashing over me like a wave. What are you talking about? I asked, my voice shaking with both fear and rage. Dad slammed a folder on the table, bank statements circled in red ink. The withdrawal had been large, undeniable, but I had nothing to do with it. I never touched Mom's savings, I said louder, my chest tightening. Lies, my sister shouted. You always needed money, you always took advantage. Tears filled my mother's eyes as she sat silently watching the storm. I looked at her, searching desperately for any sign of belief in me. Mom, please, I begged, tell them you know I would never steal from you. But she only lowered her gaze and said nothing. The silence crushed me worse than the shouting. That money was meant for her medical care, and now it was gone. Dad's voice thundered again, return it or get out of this family forever. I stumbled backward, my heart pounding, feeling the walls close in. I didn't take it, I whispered, but no one listened. My sister smirked, satisfied, as if she had been waiting for this moment. I packed my bag quietly, tears streaming down my face. As I closed the door behind me, their voices still echoed in my ears. Outside, the cold night air hit me like a slap of reality. I wandered the streets trying to piece together what had happened. Someone had taken the money, but why frame me? I thought about my sister, her smug look, her constant jealousy. Memories surfaced of her arguments with Mom about inheritance and fairness. Could she have done it and pinned it on me? The thought gnawed at me until I finally decided to act. I called an old friend who worked at the bank. He owed me a favor and agreed to dig into the withdrawal records. 2 days later he called back with shocking news. The money had been transferred, not withdrawn in cash. And the account it went to was under my sister's married name. My knees buckled as I heard the truth spilling through the phone. I had been thrown out, shamed and abandoned for something she had done. Anger and betrayal surged through me, but so did a strange calm. Now I had proof and the power to turn the tables. I returned to the house, unannounced, documents clutched in my hand. My parents looked stunned as I stepped into the living room. My sister's face paled instantly, like she knew what was coming. You wanted proof, I said, slamming the papers down on the table. They stared at the account details, the dates, the transfers, all in her name. Dad's jaw dropped. Mom gasped, tears springing to her eyes. My sister stuttered, trying to explain, but the evidence was undeniable. You framed me, I roared, months of pain spilling out in my voice. You let them believe I stole from Mom when it was you all along. Dad turned on her, his voice shaking with fury. How could you do this? She broke down sobbing, but the damage was already done. The family that had cast me out now stood broken in the truth. Mom reached for my hand, whispering, I'm so sorry, I doubted you. But the wound cut deep, too deep for a quick apology. I told them I needed time, space, and distance to heal. As I walked out again, I felt strangely lighter. They had believed a lie, but now the truth was out in the open. And though it hurt, I knew one thing clearly. Betrayal can destroy trust, but the truth always finds its way through the cracks.